Alright guys, how's it going? This is Ivan, and I'm here with George MacKenzie, team rider for Sector 9 and Aera Trucks. George, good to have you here, man.
Thanks, Ivan.
Cool, so how are things going with you back there in Calgary?
Pretty good. I'm just chilling, finishing up school.
Dope. Are you graduating?
Yes, I am.
Badass. So George, not too long ago, you and I were at Bonds, and we were talking about you being a prospect rider for Sector 9. And couple months after, here you are now. You're a big shot. You're riding for Sector 9, and you're also riding for Aera Trucks. First off, dude, congratulations. Now tell us what happened to you, dude. You just exploded.
Thanks, man. What happened? I'm not exactly sure. I just kept skating since we talked. Kept pushing myself to be a better person and better skater. Yeah, I don't know.
So we've skated like a while back. Like you and me, we were back in the day. You know how it is, right? Both Alberta boys.
Yeah, that was back when you lived in Edmonton.
That was back when I lived in Edmonton, right? Now I'm west coasting it. I got the right idea. But I mean, seeing you move up the longboard ranks like that is just absolutely crazy. I mean, you and all the Calgary guys are making sick path videos, but now when you hop on to Skatehouse Media, by the way, check that out, skatehousemedia.com. Drop a line to James and Louie or Brian Tech, whoever tickles your fancy. But going back to the point, you recently just you filmed with Skatehouse Media, and I think the video was called Curious George. Big fan of that video, dude. It was phenomenal, awesome skating. But how does that feel now? I mean, looking back at videos from 2 or 3 years ago and fast forwarding now, seeing yourself in that spotlight, how does it feel?
It feels pretty good. I mean, it's pretty crazy when you think about the progression, not just like when I look at myself, but the progression of the sport in general. It's just nuts.
It's insane.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that the guys are doing these days is really unthinkable, and you're not too far behind those guys. I mean, you just what was your last finish was 8th in Vernon, by the way. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
So you've been putting on a lot of consistent performances, and you know you grew up riding with guys like Luca Percente, Andrew McCannell, and Riley Harris. Does this influence the way you ride, your style, and how you compete?
Yeah, it did, because I actually started skating longboards in the wintertime, and all the roads were all snowy and gravelly, so we only had bike paths to skate on. So we really focused our style around, like, going around really hard corners really slowly, and now that I've started to go faster, it's just awesome the things you can do.
You're one of many who are representing Alberta. We got guys of the likes like Nick Breton, the Colonel, Johnny Badass, even guys coming up from Edmonton like Jacob Dutton. And I mean, Riley, I think he got the 4th fastest time in the last IGSA race.
Yeah,
and it's clear that our scene's exploding. And a lot of people mistaken Alberta for being extremely flat, which Edmonton is. I can see kilometers down the front street of my house. But an hour away from Calgary, you guys got one of the gnarliest hills I've ever skated, like Mount Norquay, a mini Jake's Rash like Jameson Road. These are gems. And what do you want to say to the people who think Alberta's flat? They should come check out these places, right?
Well, there's definitely better places to skate than Calgary.
Yeah.
But we do have some pretty good terrain if you want to drive to it. And, yeah, like you mentioned, Mount Norquay, there's a couple other ski hills, like Lake Louise and Sunshine, that we bomb the access roads to. And yeah, that's only like an hour drive away. So pretty much every weekend, if there isn't a race, you can catch us out there.
Going back to speaking about where you're from, Calgary Past Poo Downhill Rodeo. That was one of my first races in 2006, and I know you didn't get a race 2006, but you definitely showed up at the most recent Paskapoo. Tell us what it was like skating in front of your home crowd, skating at home, showing people what you guys got. And I really think that this race put Calgary on the map. So how do you feel about it?
Paskapoo Downhill Rodeo definitely put Calgary on the map. I think you mentioned 2006 when you went there. There was riders from all over the world, right?
Yep.
There was people from Europe and I don't know, all over the place, right? And although there wasn't that many people from all over, or there still was, there was people from Hawaii and other places, but it was pretty sweet because there's a chairlift and just skating with all your homies on your home turf hill is pretty sick.
That was as close as got for me as well. That was before the road race and high level downhill.
Downhill.
Yeah, high level downhill. By the way, George was the 2008, I think. Was it 2000 or 2009?
Riley won 2008.
Yeah, Riley, by the way, Calgary took our podiums, whatever, we're still friends. But 2009, George came in and ripped it in half, first place finish. The dude was happy to carry his $1,000 check. Anyways, so your fan base is growing every day, George. You got a really unique style. For a smaller guy, you really know how to use your weight and your size to your advantage. You're railing corners like a mofo. So a lot of people just are curious now. Where can they see you? Where do you plan on going? Do we see you in Europe anytime soon or what?
I don't see myself in Europe super soon, but within the next couple of years, I'm trying to make that happen. Definitely like to go to Australia maybe this year, or next year, or the year after that. I want to go down to Brazil. But in the near future, Kelowna is next weekend. That's a number one, right?
Yeah.
The first time it's going down.
Mm-hmm.
Big props to Uncle Lee and Blake Sona for that.
Yeah, man, making it happen.
Maryhill Festival Speed, that's going down, right? I'm going to try to make it down to SoCal, and I'm going to make it to Hawaii for the winter.
Maui Wowie. So, looking back now and seeing how far you came along in this sport, what do you think would mainly drove you to, excel so exponentially? And what inspires you, essentially, is what I'm asking.
Well, at first I was really inspired by all the guys in Calgary, like mostly the Godspeed riders, like Andrew McCannell, Tyler Martins, Luca, Jared. I was really
all very talented riders, no doubt.
All of them. Phil Black, when he was around, Aaron Christensen and Paul Kent, all those guys really pushed me and taught me how to skate. And then when I started going to races throughout BC, it was pretty sweet because Calgary is still kind of far away, so it's really a commitment you got to make if you want to make it out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it pretty much pushed me to make longboarding my life, and that's what I've done. And yeah.
Congratulations to all the success you had thus far. Any final words?
I'd just like to thank my mom and dad, Sector 9 Skateboards, and Aera Trucks, Uncle, and yeah. Thank you, Ivan.
No, thank you, George. And ladies and gentlemen, that is George MacKenzie, one of the hottest up-and-coming riders you'll probably ever have the pleasure of skating with. Ask him some questions, go up to him. He's a super nice guy. Party with him if you get the chance to, because that's a hell of an experience. Ladies and gentlemen, George MacKenzie of Sector 9 Aera Trucks. Thanks for having this interview with me, dude.
Thank you, Ivan.
And later on, guys, want to just check back on my YouTube channel for next week. I'm going to have another interview, and you're going to find out with who. So stay tuned. Have a good one, guys.
Peace out.